Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Veronica, known as Data Geek, and today we're starting an exciting new series called Algo Trading for Beginners. I will show you how to build your very first trading bot using Python. Before jumping into this project, I want to give a huge shout out to one of my awesome viewers who has requested this beginner-friendly guide covering simple trading strategies such as APIs, risk management, and code cleaning. So this whole series is based on their great idea, so thank you. And we're kicking it off today with one of the most simplest and most powerful strategies. This is called the moving average crossover strategy. And don't worry, if you don't know what any of this means, I will break it down all for you to understand. And before we start, I want to just do a little disclaimer. So this video is for educational purposes only, so I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. Always do your own research before investing or trading in real money. Let's quickly talk about a moving average crossover strategy. So what does this even mean? So imagine we have two lines on the chart. So you can see the blue line and the green line. So a short-term moving average, which is the green line, so this reacts quickly to price changes. And the long-term moving average, which is the blue line, this moves more slowly. So when the short-term and the long-term crosses above the long-term line, it gives a buy signal. So as you can see that little triangle here, so once those two lines intersect, it gives a buy signal. This usually means that the price is gaining strength and might keep going up, and that is when our bot will buy. So this is a simple and most powerful way to spot new trends without guessing and without relying on any emotions. So what is quant finance? Quant finance simply means using math, data, and coding to make smarter trading decisions instead of guessing. And today we'll get a real hands-on look at it by building our first bot. Instead of watching the market all day, deciding whether to buy or not, the bot follows your instructions and makes the trades for you quickly and without emotion. So for example, you tell the bot if the stock prices goes up 20 days above average, buy it. But if it drops below 50 days average, sell it. It's like having a helper follow your strategy plans exactly without getting tired or scared. So lastly, what is algo and what does it even mean? Algo is short for algorithmic. This means we use a simple computer program to buy and sell stocks automatically based on the rules we create. So instead of guessing or making emotional decisions, the bot follows the plan 100%. So if you're excited to start creating your own bot, grab your cup of coffee and let's jump into Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so here I am in my Jupyter Notebook. If you want to know how to download Jupyter Notebook, I have a video in the description below on how to download Anaconda Navigator. So that is what I used to use Jupyter Notebook, which is super beginner friendly. So first thing, these are the steps on building your first beginner-friendly algo trading bot using Python. So we're going to be using this simple strategy called Simple Moving Average Crossover. And these are the steps. So step one, we're going to import packages and libraries. We're going to get the stock data. We're going to calculate moving averages. And then we're going to create the buy and sell signals. And then we will plot the strategy. So in here, I'm going to go ahead and add a cell under here. You can click here, this little plus, or here on the top. We're going to first import your library. So this is a requirement. So if you don't have these installed yet, simply put exclamation pip install y finance. You might need pandas, numpy, and matplotlib. But in this case, I'm thinking you already have that. If not, you can just put pandas, numpy, and matplotlib. These are necessary requirements. Then you would run this code. But in this case, I already have all these packages, so I'm just going to put a number sign there so it doesn't read that line of code. Otherwise, you would just run that. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and add another line because now that we have our necessary packages, we want to put our libraries. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to import y finance. as YF. So YFinance will help us get real stock data directly from Yahoo Finance. Next, we're going to import Pandas as PD. Pandas is working with tables and handling the stock data. Next, we're going to import Matplotlib, pyplot as PLT. And Matplotlib, this will help us use to make graphs to see the buy and sell signals within that graph. And then we're going to import NumPy as NP. NumPy will help us with calculations. So I will run this code. Great. So now going to step 2. We're going to get the data. So now we are pulling real stock data. We're using YFinance to download Apple stock prices because we're going to use Apple stocks. And we're going to pull it from January 1st, 2022 to January 1st, 2023. So we're going to use the head function. This shows the first few rows so we can quickly see what our table looks like. It shows columns like open, high, low, close, and volume, which will tell us the price and the number of trades made each day. First, I want to start off with the note. We will use Apple, and that is going to be AAPL. That's the code for Apple. I will also put a list in the description below of other docs if you want to use other examples, but in this case, we're going to use Apple. Okay, and then we're going to do data equals, and then YF, this is where we use our package for YFinance. Download, this is where we put in our code for Apple. So open parentheses, single quotation, AAPL, single quotation. So this is where you would replace, if you want to do another stock, you would replace that name there. Comma. Now we're going to indicate the time frame. So as I said, January 1st, 2022 to January 1st, 2023. So it's going to be start equals single quotation 2022 dash 01 dash 01 single quotation to close that, comma, and then now we want to end equals single quotation in 2023 comma January 1st single quotation, close parentheses. This is a line of code that you need to grab your data and indicate those timeframes. Now we want to view the data. So we're going to say data dot head. So we only want to see the head of the data. So we run this code. And here we go. So now it shows that we actually pulled in this data and we're able to view it. And this is our table. So we have the dates, closing price, the high price, low, open, and volume. So this is what Apple data looks like. So now that we've viewed that data, we're going to go ahead and go to step 3, where we're going to calculate moving average. So I'll add another line there. And calculating moving averages is just the average stock price over the last few days. So we're going to use SMA 20, which means we take the last 20 days and find the average closing price. And then we will use SMA 50, which means we do the same for the 50 days. So why are we going to do this? It helps us smooth out the price and find trends. So if the short-term average crosses above the long-term average, it could mean the stock is starting to go up, and this is when it gives the signal to buy. So my note here is going to say short-term and long-term moving average. We're going to go data, open bracket, single quotation, and this is where I indicated that SMA 20, which is averaging that 20-day price, close bracket, equals data, open bracket, close, single quotation. So this is your close price variable, which is here. Dot rolling, open quotation, window equals 20, which is the 20-day mark. Close parentheses, dot mean. Then open and close parentheses. Okay, and then data. So now we're going to do the 50-day mark. So open bracket, single quotation, SMA 50, single quotation, close bracket, equals data, open bracket, and again, close variable, rolling, window equals 50. And again, we need the mean, open and close parentheses. So now we will run this code. So now our bot is ready to identify the average of 20 days and 50 days. So now we're going to go to step 4 where we create the buy and sell signals. So I will go ahead and add a cell next. So now in step 4, we're going to tell the bot when to buy and when to sell. So we are saying if the short-term average SMA 20 is higher than the long average SMA 50, we buy. So we're going to signal that to 1. Otherwise, we do nothing. We're going to signal equal to 0. So we'll create a column called position. When the position changes from 0 to 1, it's a buy signal. When position changes 1 to 0, it's a sell signal. So this way we can easily spot when the stock is moving in a way our bot would react to. So first off, I want to start with the note, initialize signal column. And we're going to do data, open bracket, single quotation, signal, single quotation, close that bracket, equals to 0. Okay, so then now we're going to do properly assigned signals using iLock. So we're going to do signal underscore values equals to np.where, open parentheses, data, open bracket, single quotation. So it's going to be SMA 20, which is our 20 days, single quotation, close bracket, open bracket, 20, semicolon, close bracket. Okay, greater than, data, open bracket, single quotation, SMA 50, single quotation, close that bracket. Open bracket, 20, semicolon, close bracket. Comma, 1, comma, 0, close parentheses. Now we will use the iLock, data.iLock, open bracket, 20, semicolon, comma, data.columns.get underscore lock. Open parentheses, signal, single quotation, close parentheses, close bracket, equals signal underscore values. So now we're going to safely create position column based on signal changes. Okay, and we will run this. So now you can see that it ran successfully because it's doing everything we asked it to do. Okay, now finally, let's make everything visual. We are plotting the real closing price, the two moving averages, which is the average of 20 days and 50 days, with green arrows where we get a buy signal and a red arrow where we get a sell signal. This way, you can see exactly where your bot would have bought and sold if you were trading using this strategy. You can clearly see if the bot would have caught some nice upward moves or avoided a big drop. And that's what we will do in step 5. This is your close variable, comma, and then your label equals close price. Next would be our average days, which is 20. And then our label. And we're going to do the same thing, so I'm going to just click and drag to highlight, do a Control-C to copy and a Control-V to paste. But in this case, I want it to do 50, so change that 2 to a 5, and then change this 2 to a 5. Now we want to do an arrow up. So we're going to do a single quotation, and then I'm going to press on my shift button and hit the number 6, and then single quotation. So it's not an actual 6, but it's a little tiny command on top of the 6. So if you hit shift and then 6, it will give that little command to do an arrow up, comma, marker, size equals 10. And then your color is going to be green. So color equals single quotation G for green, comma, and then you want a label to equal by signal, single quotation. So that's what I want it to say. So when this hits 1, it's going to be green, and it's going to say by signal with an arrow up. Oh, and I see here that I put double quotation instead of single. And then now enter, plt.plot, open parentheses data, open bracket data, open bracket, single quotation, position, single quotation, close bracket. This one's going to equal to, equal, -1, close bracket, dot index, comma, data, open bracket, single quotation, SMA 20, single quotation, close bracket, open bracket, data, single quotation, position, single quotation, close bracket. Now we're going to do an equals, -1, close bracket, comma. Now this arrow is going to be single quotation and then an arrow down, which in this case is going to be letter V. Single quotation, comma, and then our marker size equals 10, comma, and our color equals red. So R for red, comma, and then label equals, single quotation, we want it to say Sal signal, single quotation, close parentheses. This is where we put our title. This is going to say SMA crossover strategy. Okay, so now we will go ahead and run this code. Closing parentheses does not match opening parentheses. So right here has a curly bracket instead of a closed bracket. There we go. I'll run this. And here we go. Isn't that beautiful? So now we have a closing price, which is in our blue, to our SMA, which is our average number of 20 days, which is in orange. And then we have our average 50 days in green. And now we have our buy signal and sell signals. So buy signals in green, sell signals in red. And you can see our little triangles here. So it looks like it's buy signal. Then it looks like it starts dropping. So we need to sell signal. buy signal. So this is our visual on our crossover strategy. And it also gives the dates here on the bottom. And that is it. You just built your first simple trading bot using Python and a moving average crossover strategy. Isn't this exciting? So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and follow for the full series. In the next episode, I'll build a bot that uses the RIS, which is Relative Strength Index, to catch even better buy and sell opportunities. So as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.